Today, I'm at my friend's workshop, which is where I bought this, the abandoned car. And they have gone through it and given it a good look over, and we're going to see actually what's wrong with it. And to start off with, if we go underneath, we'll see that there is one quite serious issue.
It's good, isn't it?
No!
Yeah.
So, in your professional opinion, how would you describe it? So, apart from the fact that this is, wow, absolutely foobarred, the rest of this actually looks really good. Like, even the level sensor still attached. All of this is clean. There's no rust in it. The seals are fine. All of this is fine. In fact, this turns out to be a relatively, in fact, an exceptionally clean car underneath. In fact, I'm absolutely amazed by how good this is underneath. So the basic thought is if we can swap out that diff at the other end for the rear wheels, because this drives in two-wheel drive at the front, the thing will be fine and go straight through an MOT. It's obviously had a hard life. There's some bits like up here where it's been driven into something and bent the front cross member, but apart from that, and the skid plate here is clearly done its job. But this is really good, and everything works on it, so let's change the diff.
And in standard LMM style, we start with the most important thing, trying to improve the cosmetics.
Disconnect this to get the prop shaft off. There's 4 of these. Balls.
Meanwhile, Nigel had started removing the wheel.
My colleague complained he was being dripped on. And that's because in the tyre well here, as you can see, I have a pond. So something has leaked in here quite badly. Drive shaft removed. Ooh. Yeah. Listen to that.
The gear's in there. Knackered.
Of course it won't.
Probably because it's I could.
This really didn't want to come out. However, after endless prying and wiggling, and of course some choice words, we got the drive shafts off and the diff was free.
That's a hell of a high gear back axle.
We've now swapped the diffs over, and this is the old one. I've undone all the bolts on this, so we can take it off and have a look inside. And this, my friends, this is pretty special. You'll notice that this bearing here is, well, missing several of the rollers. There is bits in here. You'll notice also that the diff is rusty. This gave us some difficulties getting it out there. And then when you look in here, you can see firstly there's a load of the bearings. The other bearing you'll notice that should be there has just disintegrated its bit, but it was not there. But most interestingly, this was legitimately inside. Yep, that's mucked up pieces of metal which have all rust welded together. And if we just tip this up, yep, there are all the bits of my bearing. This had no oil in it, it just had water in it. How this continued to work, I don't know. And, oh yeah, the bearings have gone in there as well, that's all shaken. I've never seen a rusty diff, particularly not a rusty diff in a car that hit it out on the road. Oh, poor thing, I mean, this doesn't go round. This is absolutely a sea solid. How this car drove with a completely solid rear diff. Well, it's welded diff bro for those mad skids and that drift life. It's utterly ruined. So I don't know if you can see the damage to the teeth here, where it's obviously, it looks like it's been coming out of mesh, or it's just, in fact, you can see the metal there has started to splinter there and there and there, where it's been hammering itself to pieces. Now I've just whacked this with a hammer, put a bar in there, and I've now got, there we go. This has unfreed, but it took a lot of force of being in the vise, and it doesn't turn very well, and everything in there is all loosey-goosey. And you can see it's all rusty. This should be all oily and, like, you can see it's had no oil forever in it, because it should all be oily and movie rather than, oh, it's just utterly ruined. So this bearing, there we go. Oh yeah, that's still got, that's, there we go, that's that bearing gone as well. So that wasn't doing it. And it had all these bits floating around in it. So it's eating itself there, eating itself there. Wow. Wow. These rollers are no longer around. That's been worn. That's how it should look, is a nice round one, and yeah, that would be knackered.
With a new diff installed, I was hopeful that was going to solve my issues of this thing being very loud as I drove it along, and it didn't. And that was very disappointing. And after a load of poking it, trying to figure out what it was, because it could have been the tyres, because apparently on the X-Trail forums, the tyres that these came with end up being very noisy. It could have been a drive shaft, it could have been something wrapped around a prop shaft, it could have been the gearbox, could have been the new diff, because it's second hand, so who knows. And then it turned out to be a wheel bearing. Great.
Do you reckon that's bad?
It's not great, is it?
Check the oven up.
Safer, isn't it?
Do I have to put it?
Yes, like that.
Yeah, well that's free. Now we've got that.
It's fine, it's meant to rock like that. That's suspension.
Sturdy. Extra comfort.
Trying to move a circlip that has been on a car its whole life, going through a Ford every single day, is a real challenge.
This is the single most thing I've ever come across. I stopped swearing for YouTube, and that is swear word worthy.
How long has this taken?
Weeks, months, maybe.
My whole life.
Moral of the story is,
Don't buy anything.
don't deep six your motor car.
Oh. So I saw the boys who do the green laning and stuff.
Yeah, well,
He's hubbing it every week.
Well, yeah, they're probably doing it every week, so it just pops off.
supposedly. No, that's gone.
We're just pushing bits of the bearing out at an angle. He got really angry with it. He's still angry with it.
So there we go.
A quick 5-minute job.
When did we start on it?
About 4 hours ago.
Yes, it's now 3 o'clock.
And assembly was just the reverse of removal.
that's how you easily and quickly change a bearing on an X trailer. Simple job, you can do it yourself in maybe 5-10 minutes.
Definitely not 3 people for 5 hours. We did have a cup of tea in between. That does count in the 5 hours.
It's taking legitimately about 4 hours to do this stupid job. Now, I'd put this in my head to be about an hour.
As it turns out, it wasn't that simple, and it wasn't just one wheel bearing that had gone.
God.
I hate circuits.
Do you notice how the bed goes down?
I got distracted by this 5-inch gauge big boy that Neil is making. As the car wasn't put back together in time, it meant that I couldn't drive it home, and that meant it was time to break out the electric bike and cycle to the station so I could get on the good old train.
No, that's not the train.
Or maybe not.
Of course, in true LMM fashion, despite my best efforts, the car decided it just wasn't ready to be fixed yet, and decided it would throw some more issues at me.
So, the saga of sorting out the X-Trail continues. I've just had the back from on the rear suspension done, and now... For those of you who aren't up to spec with vehicles and driving cars on the road, this is a bad noise. I'm hoping it's the brakes and brake pads. If not, I don't know. So let's whip this off and have a look. Well, worryingly and disappointingly, it's not them, because they've got plenty of meat back on them. So what's the cause of the noise? I went and bought new brakes. I went to replace the brakes. Wasn't worth doing because they're thick. Why is it still squeaky? Took it apart, put it back together again. Still squeaky. What could it be? Took it apart again. It's epoxy dust shield on the inside of the wheel. Fixed.
And with everything back together and seemingly working, it was time to give the tank its first ever service in my ownership, which I assume was something that was long overdue.
Literally already on the way home, I've got a engine management light up. Read codes. Engine oil temperature sensor. I've got one of those. That was easy. I need a socket. A 14. Oh, bingo. It's nice when you choose a socket and it's the right one. Oh, that's a... Now the worrying thing is the book of words says I need 5 and a bit litres, and that's still coming. Oh dang! That's a chunky filter. Clip, clip. Now admittedly I don't think I needed to put the vehicle up on ramps in order to get underneath it because it's so high. What it has done is it's made it basically impossible for me to get anything up here because I now can't get to it. Where on earth? There it is. Clip. Clip. Oh, yep, that definitely came out. That's not too bad, apart from the leaf and the bit that's been chewed off. But, yeah, okay, they are a little different colour. Not that bad, but in need of replacement. Which way around did that go? Did that go that way? Oh, I've got that goes. Yeah, in like that. Then we put that back on and clamp it down and... Red on the oil filter. Oh no. Oh no, missing. Just let that drain. Alright, if we stop dribbling. Yes, we have. Okay. And there we go. That's sludgy. Just on there. better. This battery is also absolutely dead. So we're going to take it off. So based on the condition of the rear diff, I thought we probably should have a look in here at the gearbox and see. Oh, cool. Oh, that's not too bad. That looks more than fine. That was hot, so probably good to give it a swap, but that's okay. And I've gone for 540 because there are lots of different types available, and this is what I've gone with. The slightly more technical thing about this is online they say it could be between 3.5 and 5.2 litres of oil. So if I turn this on, that should start slowly pumping oil into this gearbox. So we keep doing this until all the oil is gone, and then on to the next one, because I think this will take 2. This is the slowest process known to man.
So finally, we're off to take this thing for its MOT. We're all booked in, we think we've gone through all of the niggles and everything we think it will fail an MOT on. So as far as we're aware, it has a clean bill of health, and that's very exciting and a very, very, very long time coming. I didn't think I was going to have to do as much as we've had to do to this car. I was rather hopeful that it was going to be a quick inspection, give it a service, maybe 1 or 2 tiny things. I didn't have to think I was going to have to pull the back end to bits or put new drive shafts in it or replace 3 out of 4 wheel bearings. I didn't think it would be this hard, and you shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth, but after the effort I put into it, I just really hope it passes. If it fails, it's going to be on something silly that's just happened to have gone, like a light will have blown or something silly like that. I'm pretty sure it's solid, and I've got a good feeling about it going in for MOT. And if it does pass, if it does go in and pass, that will be the justification for all of this hard work and effort to actually get it into a test. A car that was legitimately, as many people who don't believe it, legitimately parked up in the woods and forgotten about, back onto the roads. Pretty pleased with this. Well, at least I will be, assuming it passes and then goes onto the road. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'm sure it's going to be fine. But as we're getting closer to the test centre, I'm getting more and more nervous. So we'll see what will happen. So there we go. After all of that effort, after all of that hard work, this is now a car that is on the road with an MOT. This is the new LMM channel wagon, and most importantly, it has that tow hook so I can go and pull a trailer now, and that is very useful and also frankly quite dangerous, because it means I can go pick up things now that I couldn't get home before. I'd have to go borrow a tow vehicle and a trailer, whereas now I have the tow vehicle. And I'll be honest, I'm really enjoying it. I've got the heated seats, I've got cruise control, it just goes, and I hate myself because previously I would hate the SUV. Anything like this, the soft roaders, I'd be like, I don't like that. Now I'm going to pretend that this is a proper off-roader because I can lock it into 4x4. So that means it's a proper off-roader, and that means it's okay. But I genuinely love trundling around in this. It's just so nice. So a new car. Now, admittedly, the things that we've learned from this is there is no such thing as a free car. The amount of time, effort and money that I have sunk into this to get it through an MOT and get rid of all of the noises and the bangs and the crashes, I could probably have gone out and just bought one. However, free car, on the road, sorted. And when I say sorted, I've got a leak somewhere that it's letting moisture in. It's still making noises, which we've got to work out, and there's some other stuff which we'll cover in the future. So it's not perfect, it's very battle scarred, but it's there. And let's be honest, it was a free car. Absolutely brilliant. So with that, I'm going to head off and drive my new on the road awesome car back home. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed finding out what was wrong with this and seeing some of the struggles that I had. This will of course be popping up in What's Broken Now as we move forward, as I address the other issues, and of course in other adventures when we go out and get new stuff, because yeah, I've already put the towing capacity to good use. But you'll find out about that in a future video. So if you have enjoyed this, how about clicking over there for another adventure of getting a new vehicle, or down there for the last episode of What's Broken Now. And that thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Ta-da!